Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and this is going to be a brief little discussion video on Psycho-Pass, episode 17, which was just literally mind-blowing as far as I'm concerned. There were certain aspects of it because, of course, we have the reveal of what the Sybil system amounts to in this episode. There were aspects of it that I think were somewhat predictable. I mean, at least I saw coming from a little ways down the road. Some people talked about it being potentially aliens, and I was saying it could be a network of human brains, which is what it turned out to be. But there were also aspects of that were revealed in this episode that I could not have predicted, and so it was no less astounding. Now we're picking up where we left off with Makishima essentially in custody, and all of our main characters are freaking out about the next step. What is going to happen next? Because essentially there is no judicial system in this not too distant future, strictly speaking, as we have in our world. And you have Genoza going into the chief minister, and she automatically usurps his command, takes him off the case. You are not going to be allowed to interrogate Makishima. There has to be medical personnel present and all this stuff. Of course, we know that the chief minister is suspect, and there is more going on with her. And wow, do we find out how much more in this episode. Now, I love the scene, though. We have some scenes basically with the other enforcers and Genoza and everybody all talking amongst themselves about how they are worried about that next step with Makishima. They all want to make sure he gets prosecuted. And we have this great touching moment between Kagami and Akane, where essentially she is trying to voice her concerns in not so many words along those lines. And you have Kagami kind of sitting there and he starts to babble, trying to ease her mind with all this other stuff. And then finally he turns around and he says, you know what? Maybe it's just that I'm nervous too. And you see Akane's reaction to this. She did not expect him to be that honest about being scared. What is going to happen to Makishima? We can't let him free. We have to make sure he's prosecuted and brought to justice. Even though Kagami, just like Kagari, who is still currently missing, and everybody's trying to figure out what's going on with him, where did he go, what happened to him, you have Kagami sharing Kagari's basic view of the civil system. It is wrong, These people, they aren't stupid. They are intelligent enough, like Makishima is, to see that there's something foul about the civil system. Now, how foul and far it goes, we see in this episode, as I say, when Makishima is visited by the chief minister, who reveals herself to be, which astounded me, Kozabura Toma. This is the cat who basically killed Kagami's partner, Sasayama, and a bunch of other people. This is the original suspect they were looking for, that they thought tied to Makishima. And of course we find out that there was a legitimate tie between Makishima and Toma in this episode. Toma, essentially, in the guise of the chief minister, outlines the entirety of what the civil system is. All of these brains, all of that stuff. It's people consciously turning over their brains, in a sense, the people who cannot be detected by civil system, that have that something special where they don't have a crime coefficient that can be detected and all of that stuff. They have essentially given over their minds to this system to basically become gods as they see it, to live beyond a body, a physical form. They think, by extension, they have become immortal, and it is just boggling and staggering how all of these minds, they would all have to be some of the worst criminals in the world, in a sense. The things that they're capable of, the things that, can't be read, that they could carry out. And they are the brains. They are at the center of civil system that basically keeps all of society in check. Is just astounding. Now, what is even more staggering is the fact that you have Toma here in the guise of the chief minister being sent in as the sort of ambassador for this group of the civil system brains, if you will, and they want to, induct into their processes Makishima. Well, I knew from the get-go there's no way he's going to do this because he doesn't want that. That's not what he's all about. And sure enough, he turns the tables. He attacks Toma, beats Toma within an inch of her life, whatever you want to call it, probably killed, because we find out toward the end of the episode that the chopper that was flying them to the MWPSB building or wherever they were commuting to had crashed. Makishima got away. He called Kagami and said, guess what? The civil system, this thing you're fighting for, this thing you're protecting, isn't worth it. And we see Kagami livid. He calls Genoza and he's like, how did you know something was up? the plane went down, Makishima's gone. And so it's just been an explosive chain of events. And while all of this stuff is going on, with Makishima having escaped, finding out what the Sybil system is, Toma is presumably dead because the plane crashed, as I say. So what does that mean for the MWPSB, the chief minister position? Who is going to fill that if the chief minister, Toma in disguise, is no longer with us? Will another brain, take up another cybernetic body and just fill that role again? Probably. But all of this stuff aside, you also have Kagari. It's still a mystery. Is he dead or isn't he? Because essentially, the only one who knows for sure is the chief minister, and we see from the camera phone angle that she shows to Makishima when his buddy found out what the Sybil system was and was trying to record it to basically debut to the world as a video release, that kind of thing. We saw that she did shoot the weapon again, the Dominator she was holding, but we don't see a blood splatter. We don't really know if Kagari's dead. We know that his Dominator was found by the crew, basically looking tampered with, and it's Tomome who says it could have been deliberately placed there to look like Kagari has gotten away. Now, the thing is, this also coincides, very interestingly enough, with another branch's enforcer having gotten away, seemingly walked off the scene of a crime during the riots when they were trying to keep everybody in check, and I have to wonder what role that's going to play. Is this somebody who maybe went and took the investigation upon his or herself? I think it was a chick. Maybe that'll be who turns out to save Kagari or finds him or something. Or perchance this could be someone who is part of Makishima's crew who has been working from the inside all along. I don't know what is going on, but there are just so many things. I'm going to be reveling with this episode until next week's, just trying to put all the pieces together in mind. It was just a fantastic episode once again. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of everything that happened in this episode, all the reveals, all the revelations, and all the mysteries that are still yet to unfold. What do you think of it all? Post that in the comments below. And otherwise, I hope you're all doing well, so I'll catch you later. Peace.